Today's video is continuing the exponential functions. So if you haven't done so yet, please watch yesterday's video and do that too. In fact, I might even suggest pausing this video and going back and watch the other one, even if it's in front of the whole class watching the video on the screen. Yeah, I think it'd be really smart to do so. Yeah, then come back to this one and start about right here. All right, so today's video, we are going to continue what we talked about with exponential functions. And exponential functions are in this form. And let me just remind you of what each of them are. This is the starting point. Let me zoom in. That's the starting point. The b is the multiplier, which kind of is specific to like exponential growth or decay. There's a certain thing with that where if it is growth, that will be greater than 1. And to find out what it is, it would be 1 plus the rate, which would be the same thing as saying 100% plus whatever the percent is that they tell you. If it was decay, that's when it's less than 1, which would be 1 minus r, which would be the same thing as saying 100 minus 100% subtract whatever the percent is that they give us. Okay, so but we're just doing, we really only need the starting point and what the multiplier would be, right? So first is the starting point is always, like if there's a 0 comma something, it is that number right there. That looks like a dinosaur. Rawr. Okay. It is that number. So for this problem, it's going to be, what does it say? Y equals? Nope. Okay, so we are writing the formula, the function, and I think you can do y equals. I don't know if it does that yet or not. I will find out in just a second. Let's finish writing this and I'll do it. So y equals 2, and now we need to figure out that multiplier, right? So to figure out the multiplier, we're going to have to use some pretty good skills. Not too crazy skills, but we're going to have to use some pretty good skills for doing so. So let me grab the little formulas. Oh, wrong class. Hold on a second. There we go. Actually, we could look at the examples, but I'm not in there right now. So we're not going to go, pardon me, so we're not going to look at the examples. So I know that a is 2, right? I know that the a is 2. And so far we would have y is equal to 2 times by b to the x. But we don't know what that b is, but it's pretty good. We can just plug in this point right here into there, where remembering that this is the x and that's the y. So we have 8192 is equal to the 2 we already had times by b, still going to be b, we don't know the b, but to the power of 4, right? So, yeah. So b to the power of 4. We don't know what b is, but we know it's being raised to the power of 4. So let's just find out b to the 4th. So we will divide both sides by 2. Divide by both sides by 2. So we get, let's see, 4096 is equal to b to the 4th. So I'm going to take the 4th root of b, right? So I'm going to take the 4th root of b, or another way of doing it in decimals, that's easier, is we're going to want 4096 to the power of 1/4, because that's the same thing as taking the 4th root. So that will be what b is. So we're going to go to decimals. Oh, look at all these things I have up. Whoa. And I don't even have decimals up after all that. Okay. Thinking. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure that we have the same numbers that we meant to have. So we had 8192 492, and I'm dividing it by 2 because that was my A, right? And then we have that 4096. And now I need 4096 to the power of, especially if the button works, okay, 1/4. And it's 8. So that means that my B is 8. Coming back into here. Oh, yeah. So that means that B equals 8. So my equation would be 2 parentheses 8 to the x. And I do have to type in the y equals. So y equals, oh, I can even come back in here so you can see it be completed. Oh, wrong one. Where is it? There we go. So y equals 2 parentheses 8 and close parentheses to the power of x. Submit answer. Yes, that's what I want to do. Yep, good. Okay, and then do we want to look at the next problem? Is it very similar? Let's check it out. And it's basically the same thing. So I can see so far that I would have y equals 8, but now I don't know what b is, and I can use the same information to help me find it. Let me put it in the next spot. You're gonna see all my tricks for doing this. Done. Saved photos. I'm gonna come down and do that one down here. So we're going to add in this picture. Okay. So we're gonna find. So we have. This is my x. This is my y. So here's my x and here's my y. So I'd have 648 is equal to 8 times by b to the 4th. So I'm going to want to find the 4th, and then we divide by 8, right? Divide by 8, and then whatever that is, I'm going to put that to the power of 1/4. And I don't know what that is off the top of my head. That'd be crazy cool if I did, but I don't. So we have 648. Is that what it was? Yeah. We had 648 divided by 8. Okay, there we go. 648 divided by 8. I got 81. And now I want 81 to the power of 1 divided by 4. Okay, so that's 3. And so that was 81 to the 1/4 was equal to b, and that meant that b equaled 3. So I'm going to type here 3 to the x. And again, if you need more examples than that, here's show examples, and here's this video. Okay. Next one, actually I'm going to type that in here on my other device. Y equals 8 parentheses 3 to the x. Nice. Okay, the next one is our half. Oh, nope, still want that one. Half and double life. Okay. So this is important that you read the words in here. You don't have to read all of them, but we say, so this is how it's going to follow the same thing as y is equal to a times by b to the x, where this is still the starting amount. This will be either, and for these, this will either be 1/2 or 2, depending if it says half or double. And yeah, and then the x will be the time in this case. So we're going to say for this one, our starting the purchase value, so y is equal to that 45,000, and it depreciates by 1/2 every 4.5 years, right? Oh, and actually what we need to do with the time, I'm going to modify it, my time information. This is important. So we are going to do, the time would be the time, like the years that it says, divided by, let me just double check here. Oh yeah, h is the number of time, like, so divided by h, where h is how long until half or double. Okay, so we're going to come back over here. Let me show you how to use that. So we said, so it's 4.5. So it says, and over time it depreciates by 1/2. So we're going to have 1/2. And it's doing it by t over 4.5. So this is how we would set up the original equation. But then it tells us specifically what our t is, right? So now our next step is we're going to put that in right there. That time in for t. Well, this one went in right there, and this number went right there. So basically, we're just plugging 4 numbers in, and then just chugging it out. So what I'm going to type into decimals is going to be 45,000 parentheses 1/2 to the power of 21 divided by 4.5. So we have, oh, I can, by the way, you can delete all right there. You don't have to delete things as you go. 45,000 times by 1/2 to the power of 21 divided by 4.5. And there we go. And what were we supposed to round it to? So 177,176. Oh, to the nearest $100. So wait, if I said it was 177,176, but we want it to the nearest $100. So this is the hundreds place right here, this 7. So then since it's 7 after that, we're going to go up 1. So 1800. There we go. That's what I will enter in for the answer. 1800. Okay, let's go and put that in. Oh, I didn't finish typing this in, did I? It's okay. I did on the other thing. Okay, so we got 1800. Submit answer. Yes, that is what I want. And it doesn't like me. Okay, next problem. All right. This is 1/2 again. Okay, I want to go on to the next problem, so I'm just going to do like that for a second so I can get to the next problem. Okay. This says double. That's why I wanted this one, because I wanted a doubling example. And I guess I can leave that whole thing there. Done. Save to photos. And then come back in here. We're going to add a new one. There we go. Okay, so it's almost the same thing, but instead of having 1/2, we're going to have 2. So the equation again is y is equal to a times by b to the x. But the x was really t over h. So we're going to put y equals, so here's our bacteria. That's the starting amount. That's our A. So I'm going to put that right here, 380. Placed in Petri dish such that the number of bacteria is doubled. So here's where it says double, which means I'm going to put a 2 right here. it's every, so when it says every, that's what goes for the H, the H. So that's going to be divided by 5. And now it says it wants to know what it is after 12 hours, and the 12 is going to come right here. And this is what I will type in to the calculator, which you can use the scientific calculator that's already built in, or you can use Desmos. It doesn't matter to me. I'm using Desmos because, oh, actually, I guess I could go into the actual problem. Okay. So scientific calculator. And we said it went 380 parentheses 2 close parentheses to the power of 12 divided by 5. And we want it to the nearest whole number. So I have 2005, which would round up to 2006. 2006. Okay, so now you've had an example of each one. If you need more examples, then you are welcome to watch the video or do the examples, like look at these examples. All right, hopefully this helps, and please go back and watch the other video too.